Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Yes, I know I'm 15 minutes late. Surely is. Surely is. But I'm in here, though, right? Y'all come on in here, ladies. Y'all come on. Y'all come on. Come on. We got this topic. This is it's unscheduled episode today. Because I felt like I need to talk. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about it. We sure do. Y'all come on in here. I am going to wait. I'm going to wait till I see me a couple people in here. I'm gonna wait, but y'all come on. Y'all come on. Y'all come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. Cause we need to talk about this, y'all. We need to, us ladies, we need to talk about this. Stop being scared. Come on. Y'all come on in here. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna set this right here. I am going to wait. I am going to wait. Most definitely. So if y'all see me looking over here, I got my phone right here, right? Just want to let y'all know that now. And you know what? Let me check my microphone while I wait. Come on in here. Who's in here with me? I see some people here. Y'all speak to me. Y'all speak to me so I can speak back. Y'all come on, speak to me. So I can say, what's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Come on in here. We're going to talk about this. And let me say this. If anybody would like to come up here with me while I'm talking about this topic, um let me know and I'll put the link. I'll send the link to you so you can come on up. If this is an unscheduled, yes, I still got my hair plait. This is an unscheduled top episode today, y'all. But it's a reason why I'm doing this. I didn't want to wait no another week or two. No, I want to talk about it now. I want to talk about it now. But come on in here. Come on in here, ladies. Come on in here, y'all. Come on. And I need to check, make sure. Okay, I can hear myself. I was just making sure my microphone was working because I forgot to check that while my little intro was on. But it's working. It is working. Y'all come on. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. I am on location today, y'all. Yes, I am. I am at my bestie's house. Yes, I am. Doing my live. Doing my live. But yes, we're gonna have a conversation. Who knows? She might pop in here. We don't know. We don't know. She might not. But come on in. Who's in here with me? Who's in here? I'm gonna wait about another 2 or 3 minutes. Why don't let me wet my throat because to tell you the truth, it's itching a little bit. Y'all come on in here. Yeah, we gotta talk about pap smears and how it can save your life and how it has saved a lot of people's lives. We gotta talk about it. I know that's an uncomfortable topic, just as well as uncomfortable having it done. But we got to talk about it. We got to talk about this. And y'all know I dive all in it. Y'all already know that. And yet, and look, I can't remember everything I want to say. So I got my little notes right here. Yes, I do. I got my cheat sheet notes. Sure do. I sure do. I cannot remember everything I want to say. But I got a lot to say about this today. We got to talk. All right. I'm going to go ahead on and get started. Welcome to Miss J's Unfiltered Talk Show and Podcast. As I stated, this is an unscheduled episode today. I just felt it in my heart and I need to talk about this. So if you're watching live, you see that little red light and it's blinking, 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 blinking. That means you're watching your queen live. But now you come across this thing and it's not blinking, that means you're watching a replay. And yes, I appreciate you doing that. Okay, no doubt about it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching the replay. Let's set this right here. Hold on. Thank y'all for Thank y'all for doing that. So the topic tonight, this evening rather, is pap smears. Pap smears and HPV testing. Yes, that uncomfortable thing that us ladies don't like to do, that uncomfortable thing that we put off for so many years to have done, that uncomfortable thing, yes, that we don't like to think about, or when it's time to have it done, you just still don't do it. Yeah, that thing called the Pap smear and HPV testing. Um, that's a test that's been around for years, okay, and it has saved a lot of lives. Um, so when we speaking of pap smears, y'all come on in here. When we're speaking of pap smears and HPV testing, first thing, some of us probably want to know, well, what is it? Some people, if I got some 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds might run across there, what is it? Let me tell you what it is. And like I said, yes, I got my hair plait. So, so what is a pap smear and the HPV testing? Y'all might not knew, y'all probably didn't know that when they did the pap smear, they was also checking for the HPV. And we're gonna talk about that, okay? Um, so we already know that's a method of they screening to make sure to take potentially, that's the key word, potentially um precancerous cells, okay, that grows in the cervix, all right, and very seldom, very rare. Did y'all know it grows in the anus too? Okay, now I'm gonna say that again for the one that's sitting way back in the back with the mouth all curled up and balled up, wonder what I just said. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again because I want you to hear it. That is a procedure that your healthcare provider does that helps detect potentially potentially precancerous and cancerous, all right, cells in your cervix, and it's very rarely in your anus, okay? Very rare, but it can be there, okay? Um, this procedure, it looks for cervical cancer, which it starts growth in your cervix. If you're a woman and you have not had a hysterectomy, you still got everything. You still got that cervix. You still got it. Okay? You still got that cervix. That's where the cancer cells start growing. All right. So that is the purpose. That's what is the pap smear and the HPV test. So now we already know the purpose is to find the cancerous cell, the precancerous cells that a person may have. All right. They call abnormal cells. Um, so now we want to know, how do they do it, right? So we already know the healthcare provider, they take a brush. Y'all know them dreaded stirrups. Y'all already know those dreaded stirrups that we gotta put our feet in, okay, and spread them like an eagle. Y'all already know, okay. Um, I know it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable just saying that, to tell you the truth. But your healthcare provider goes, do their procedure, and they scrape with a sterile brush. They use a spatulum, and go in and they scrape that cervix, getting some cells, getting some of your cervix, and it's going to be sent off to the lab. And that, yes, they are checking for precancerous or cancer and HPV. All right, that's what they're checking for. And I know it gets it gets worrisome. I know it does, but it goes out to a lab and be looked up under a microscope, and that's what they're checking for. So y'all heard me use the term HPV, right? If y'all listening or watching live or watching the replay, if you heard the HPV, hi sweetheart, hey Ray Star, thank you for coming in here. If you've heard of the term HPV, let's talk about real quick, what is that? That is the human papillomavirus virus. That virus have 200 virus intertwined in it. Yes, and it is a sexually transmitted infection. Notice how to say disease, infection. All right. And it's transmitted skin to skin contact. Yes, that HPV. A lot of women probably don't know that's what they're checking for. And if you come back act normal and they let you know you got HPV, be like, HPV. That's what they be checking for also when they do the pap smears. All right. They both of them, they're checking for the precancers, and they're checking to see if you got HPV. Um, The human papillomavirus, and would y'all believe that is the most common transmitted sexually infection in the United States? That is the most common in the United States. That's not good, y'all. That's not good. It's the most common. Thank you for being here, Ray Star. I appreciate it, love. That is the most common transmitted infection in the United States, HPV, and it goes unknown. And I'm gonna explain to you how it goes unknown. All right. And like I said, it is spread. It's from skin to skin contact, and one it's gonna be somebody somewhere down the line gonna contract HPV in their life. All right. But now, HPV, it has two different groups. You got the low risk. If you have HPV, low risk, then you have the high risk. Okay. Now, the low risk, the high risk is the one that can cause several types of cancer. So, say for example, and let me say this, disclosure, full of disclosure. All my information that I'm talking about is for information. It's for educational purposes only, to give you information. And disclaimer: no, I am not no doctor. I am not no medical doctor, but I'm bringing you information, factual, researchable information. Okay, just want to put that on out there. All right, just want to put it on out there. But if somebody watching might know somebody, well, ain't nobody hardly gonna tell you they got HPV. But if you have HPV and you know it, right? And if you've already been told that it's high risk, that's the one that's scary. Okay, now when they say, yeah, now you have HPV and it's high risk, that high risk HPV is the one that can cause several types of cancers. Did y'all know that? It's two of them: low risk HPV, human papillomavirus, and you got, excuse me, and you got the high risk. That high risk one, that's the one to be afraid of. You don't even want to hear. Okay, that in the car, that's the one that can cause some problems. That can cause some problems. Okay, so now let's look at real quick, because I'm gonna share my story with y'all. I am. I'm gonna share my story with y'all. Let's look at 5 reasons that a woman should never. And when I was doing this, y'all, I felt so bad, but I did. 5 reasons a woman should never skip their pap smear. First one, it is the most effective screening tool for cervical cancer, period. Period. Most effective. Cervical cancer is also the fourth most common cancer in women worldwide. 80% of sexually active Americans have, I'm going to say this again because I want that one to sit back there with a mouth all folded up, wondering what I'm talking about. I want you to hear this. 80% of sexually active Americans have HPV and may not even know it. 80% of sexually active Americans have HPV and don't even know it. May not have an idea. Okay. Number 4, your pap smear is also a good time to discuss other health issues with your provider. When it's time to go in there and get that pap smear, that's your time right there to start discussing something else. Okay. That's the time to whatever you got on your mind you want to discuss. That's the time to do it. All right. Well, I'm not going to just tell you. Say, well, I have my pap smear this week. I just wait till I go in there to discuss so on, so on, so on, so on, so. And number 5, early detection of cervical cancer means a better outcome, because are y'all aware now that they are treating and curing cervical cancer if it's caught in the early stage? Are some of y'all aware of that? Mm-hmm. They got to be caught. So now I gave you the reasons why you shouldn't do it. You should not skip from having it. Now, what about how often should you do it? How often should a woman have a pap smear? How often should us women have a pap smear done? Hmm? Actually, it depends on if you have had an abnormal pap smear in the past. That's one. That's the main thing. All right. And the what is it? The World Health Organization recommends that patients who are 21 through 29 have a pap smear every 3 years. But those who are 30 to 65 should have a pap smear and an HPV test every 3 to 5 years. But however, your provider will do it for you yearly if that's what you tell them you want to do. Okay? If you want to tell them, no, I want my pap smear done every year, they have to do it for you. Yeah, World Health Organization, and it is guide. I'm gonna tell you about the guidelines. It's guidelines toward this, but yeah. However, if patients want their healthcare provider doctor to do a pap smear yearly, they will do that. You're able to get it done. Remember that now. If you want it done every year, you can get it done every year. All right. All right. And if you have a history, this is how often you need to get a pap smear done. Next one is if you have a history of cervical cancer in your family, or you keep getting abnormal results. Then that's when they recommend testing you every year once you get beyond age 65. All right. Once you get beyond age 65, they want you to be tested every year, especially if you keep having abnormal results. And abnormal results that constitute a whole lot of things. That constitute if you constantly keep getting yes, if you have abnormal results such as chlamydia, that's abnormal result. Such as bacteria vaginosis, that's abnormal results. This is a note I forgot to put down, but I remember seeing it doing my research. But I just remember chlamydia, bacteria vaginosis, and it was one more, but I know it was about five listed. Those are considered abnormal. That's something that can show up on your pap smear that can cause it to come abnormal, right along with the HPV. Okay, all right. So now, what if you're not sexually active? Do you need one? Do you need a pap smear if you ain't doing that? If you ain't doing nothing, do you need a pap smear? Hmm. Yes, you do. Women, yes, you do. Yes, you do. The World Health Organization recommend that if you are at least 21, you should start your cervical screening. You should start your cervical screening at 21. And then how often it would depend on the number of factors such as those that I talked about, whether you have a lot of bacteria infections or bacteria vaginosis, HPV. If you come up with um, that, and then or if you have an abnormal pap smear, okay. But at 21, so my ladies, if y'all got some daughters that's turning 21, it's time to have this conversation with them. It's time to have this conversation with them. So now let's talk about the facts and some figures and statistics when we talk about this cervical cancer screening. So according to the Cancer Society, and again, this is for educational purposes only, okay? So according to the American Cancer Society, in 2022, an estimated 13,800 cases of cervical cancer were diagnosed. Did y'all hear what I just said? That was in 2022, American Cancer Society. And 4,290 women each year from cervical cancer. Y'all heard that? Did y'all hear that? 4,290 women die each year from cervical cancer, and I'm pretty sure probably could be prevented. Matter of fact, while I'm doing this, I want to go on and put this screen up. Let me go. I want this to stay up while I'm doing this. Let me go on and do this. That thing right there, that's what we dread so bad. That's what we dread so bad right there. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right there. That's what we dread right there. The most dreaded and feared procedure to us women. And it is. Okay. All right. So, yes, 4,290 women die each year from cervical cancer, y'all. These cases arise from approximately 3 million abnormal pap smears that were detected annually. This came from 3 million, I ain't said 3,000, I said 3 million abnormal pap smears that were detected annually. Early detection is so critical, y'all. Early detection is critical. Precancerous Precancers are diagnosed much more often than invasive cancer. Okay. Early detection, and I want to repeat this again, early detection is crucial. Early detection is crucial. Get that in your head now. Many older patients do not realize that they are still at risk of cervical cancer. More than 20% of the cases of cervical cancer are found in women over 65 years of age. And that's from the American Cancer Society. Yep. That statistic came from the American Cancer Society. More than 20% of cases of cervical cancer are found in women over 65 years of age. Wow. Y'all see what I got up there? Y'all see that? I know. I know. I know. So remember me telling y'all to do some guidelines concerning this? Thank y'all for being in here. Here are the new guidelines by the World Health Organization. Updated cervical cancer screening guidelines. World Health Organization and American Cancer Society recommend starting screenings at age 25 with an HPV test and having HPV testing every 5 years until you get to age through the age 65. But however, testing with an HPV slash PAP co-test every 5 years or with a PAP test every 3 years is still acceptable. So in other words, thank you for being in here. Thank you for being in here. So in other words, even though right now, if you just getting a pap smear and an HPV test together every 5 years, or with the pap test every 3 years, you still can do that. But the new guideline per the World Health Organization and the American Cancer Society recommend starting screenings now at age 25 with an HPV test and having HPV testing every 5 years through the age of 65. Okay, so every 5 years, you go get your screening. You go have your HPV test. You have your HPV test and your HPV and your pap smear every 5 years through the age of 65. And like I said, I know a lot of women probably don't want to come up in here and hear this, but we're gonna talk about. I'm talking about this today. I'm talking about this because we need, it's that's what's wrong with a lot of us women now. Don't want to hear stuff like this, but it's okay because I'm still gonna talk about it. Because somebody gonna run across it and gonna be glad to hear this. Okay, maybe to push you to go get yourself checked. Okay, which I hope that's the premise of my platform, and I do anything like this. All right, and again, this is for educational purposes only. Now, the statistics for the United States for pap smear. I was curious to know the statistics for the pap smears in the United States. In 2022, 72.4% of women aged 21 through 65 up to date were up to date with their cervical cancer screening. That's a plus. That's good. That was in 2022 though, but still 72.4%. They are women ages 21 through 65. They were up to date with their cervical cancer screening. That's a plus. That's a plus. So according to a 2010 study, 93% of American women reported having had at least one pap smear in their lifetime. Uh-oh. Ooh, I'm stepping on somebody's toes. Let me move my eyes out of the way. According to a 2022 study, pap testing rates were significantly lower according to let me say that again. According to a 2022 study, pap testing rates were significantly lower among rural residents than urban residents. So when I got to finding that information out, I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell y'all about me. I'm gonna go through this. Um, so when I got to that part, start looking at that. Now my mind went through this right here. Say what you want to say, think what you want to think, but I showed it. I want to know how many of us black women die from it. Yeah, I want to know that. All right. So what race is prone to cervical cancer? What race is prone to cervical cancer? Here we go. Hispanic women have the highest rate of cervical cancer, followed by none, followed by black women, according to the American Cancer Society. And black women are more likely to die from the disease than women of any other race or ethnicity. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Ethnicity. Ethnicity. Yeah, my tongue twisted today, y'all. Ethnicity. Black, I'm gonna read it again for that one that's in way back there. She still got a mouth fold all up. Trying not to hear what I gotta say, but I'm gonna say it again because I want you to hear it way back there in the back. What race is prone to cervical cancer? Hispanic women have the highest rate of cervical cancer, followed by black women. And this is according to the American Cancer Society, not according to me. Okay? According to the American Cancer Society. All right? Y'all see what's on the screen? Black women are more likely to die from the disease than women of any other race and ethnicity. Race is the social construct. Now, let me break that down for you right there. Let's talk about the race construct. All right? Plain and simple, it's an idea that has been created and accepted by people in a society. So we just gonna go ahead and accept that. We ain't gonna worry about it. We're just gonna go ahead and accept it. It's an what social construct, an idea that has been created and accepted by the people in a society. Okay. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Eric, for watching. I appreciate it. Hey, Jacqueline. Thank you, my love, for watching. And I'm looking at my phone now. Thank you, Miss Wright, for watching, my love. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. This is important. This is important. So let me share with y'all about me. Because y'all know I tell y'all, I be transparent. All right. Then I'm gonna close it out. After this, I'm gonna close it out. And if anybody want to come up and have a story they want to share about them, that's fine. But y'all see what I got up there, right? I got it up there for a reason. Because that is one of the most dreaded and feared procedure for us women. And have you had yours? All right. So I don't know if y'all seen my post that I put up. This is why I did this today. 5 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, I put up there, thank you, Lord. Right? What happened was this. And I'm not, I mean, y'all come on and get me because I did this to myself. Okay. I have not, up until, this past Tuesday was my first time since 2018 that I had my pap smear. And it's no excuse for it. And I'm not going to sit and make excuse. The only thing I will say, that thing that says, I was scared. I am not going to lie about it. I was scared. And I know I'm not the only one walking around here. Probably have not had it. Period. Because we scared. I was scared, y'all. And I know that was wrong for me to do. And let me go as further. Let me go as further as to saying this. See, we know we got to take care of ourselves. We know we have. Let me get my microphone because I want y'all to hear this. We know as women that we really got to take care of ourselves, right? We know it's things we got to get done. Our pap smear, our breast exam, our colonoscopy. We got to get that done, right? But we also know, within our soul and within our heart, that if we haven't had that done in a long time, that's gonna subconsciously, if that's a word, in other words, it's gonna worry us, right? Inside and in here. And I can honestly say, I knew I'd been that long without having it. Oh, let me back up a little bit. The reason why it was really important for me to keep getting them done was because when I was 18 or 19, one of my pap smears kept coming back precancerous. Okay, real talk. This is real talk. And I was 18 or 19 years old when it happened. Um, and that was when they went in and did a cryology or something. But let me tell you what it was. All I know, they used some freezing stuff that go up in there and froze it, burnt it off or something. Okay, but I know it felt real cold. And I had to have that done 3 different times. So y'all hold that thought, right? So now you see why it was important for me to constantly keep getting mine done, right? But I wasn't doing it. At age 18 or 19, I was having this done to me because they kept seeing precancerous cells. Bessie, I don't think you knew about that, did you? I don't think she knew about that. Because we've been friends about 40 years. Um, But yes, I was 18 or 19 years old when that started happening to me. And they had to go in on 3 different occasions because every time they check it, it kept coming back. So that was the reason why in my head, all these years, from the last time I had it done in 2018, but in my head and in my heart, I knew I was supposed to be getting this done. That was why I knew what was going on with me. I was having anxiety because every now and then I would think about it. Lord, I need to get I need to get this, past me done. But Lord, I'm so scared. I'm not gonna lie, every now and then it would come through my spirit, but I wouldn't do it. But let me tell you what happened. Now, my doctor for a whole year been at, because I got a new doctor, been at me a whole, no, not for 2 years. Yeah. Because been my doctor for 2 years. She's been at me about getting this screening. So when I had my appointment Tuesday, Cause usually when I go to my appointments, y'all, I'm tell you what I do. I just sit there and get talking about stuff, asking different questions about my body. So that thing, she said, well, we can't do the pet smear today. I said, no, we ain't doing it today. I said, I ain't coming to do it today. But when I went in there this past Tuesday, when I went in there this past Tuesday, when I got ready to leave out of my house, I said to myself, okay, Lord, I'm going to get this done. And I said to myself, whatever, excuse me, I said what to myself, I said, Lord, whatever gonna be. Whatever, whether it's good or bad, either way, I know you got me. And I walked on out. And I think she thought that I wasn't gonna do it. Cause she's so used to me coming in, and then I said, no, I ain't gonna do that today. I'll do it another time. For 2 years up under her, I've been doing this, right? So and look back. So we walked up in there. She said, "Are we doing this today?" I said, "Yep, we doing this today." And she was like, "We're doing this today." I said, "Yes, we are doing this today." And I don't know who. I don't know if she was more excited or I was, but she literally hugged me. She said, "Thank you, thank you." She said, "Come on, they got everything ready for me." Yeah. So now this is the thing. When I did it Tuesday, you talking about an agonizing process for me. See, because now the devil messing with me now. Now the devil all in my head, now it's gonna come back something wrong with it. And then if it do, you did this to your. This is what I was thinking to myself. If it came back positive for anything, keep in mind since 2018, and it's what 2024. Get ready to be 2025, 2025, 2025. So that was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I got my results back. Y'all talking about somebody was scared to look at it? Yes, I was scared to death. But I looked at it. I just went on it. I took about 15 minutes and I said, okay, I saw them. I saw it when it came. I said, okay, let me get myself together because since 2018 and I'm 62, have episodes of at age of 18, 19, precancerous cells on three different times I had pap smear done. Okay, when I saw everything they was checking for was normal, y'all to hear me hollering. Y'all hear me hollering? Cause that's how loud I was hollering, and that's how loud I was praising God. Cause I was some kinds of happy. See, because all that stuff they was looking for, it had everything down. I had about 8, 9, stuff all down there. Normal. But then I want to see that cervical cancer one and the HPV one. You see what I'm saying? Normal. I'm just being honest. I'm sitting here being transparent to y'all. Okay? Everything was normal. That's why I put that post up there with crying emojis. Lord, I thank you. I was so happy. Now let me say this. I knew that could have been another way because I'm sitting here knowing what I was dealing with at age 18 and 19 years old. Precancerous cells on 3 different occasions and supposed to been constantly getting my pap smears done. And I wasn't doing that. That was why I wanted to come today and talk about this. I don't want to wait the next week. And I hope somebody that's watching this get the nerve, do the buddy system. And what I mean by that is, say like if your best friend haven't and they haven't had theirs, in a while, y'all make appointments. You see what I'm saying? You might, of course, y'all might be your best friend might be in a whole nother state or something. I'm just saying. But the day of her appointment, she FaceTime you. It's just like you walking in there with her. Same thing, vice versa. Day of yours, you walking in there on FaceTiming, y'all FaceTime one another. It's just like you hold her hand, you sit right there with her. Do the buddy system. And like I said, I know that thing could have been the other way. But it's still, in my heart, I was ready to accept that because I would have been looking at that would be my fault. That would be my fault. I'm being so damn transparent to y'all. It don't make no sense. Y'all know I'd be like that on my platform anyway. But I was scared. That thing right there, what it said, I dreaded it and I was scared to do it because it been so long. It was so long since I had it done. I was scared. And I'm 62 from 2018. Yeah, I was scared. It's no if that's what was wrong with me. And like I said, I know I'm not the only one. I know it's somebody that's watching, somebody's gonna watch this replay, sitting right there and sitting right here with me. Was scared. Is scared to do it. All I can tell you, go in there like I did. This past Tuesday morning, I woke up. I said to myself, "Okay, God, I'm gonna do this. I need to get this done." And I said, and "Whatever it is, God, you got me." And I walked right on in my car, went on down that road. Still talking to him. Still talking, still talking. Now, did I almost talk? Did I try to talk myself out of it? Yes, I did. Let me tell y'all that too. I sure did. As I was driving, some said, "No, don't get it done today." Then some said, "No, go ahead on." You here now. So I get it, ladies. When we scared of that, we dread that. Very uncomfortable feeling. Very uncomfortable talking about it. But I had to come today and do this. I had to come today and talk to us ladies about this. So if you haven't had a hysterectomy, you got a cervix and a uterus, okay? So come on, let's get this done. Let's get this done. Because now they looking at the fact, and the reason why they have you to wait so you can wait long now is because they have already discovered and got cervical cancer down, the growth of cervical cancer down packed to the point where the doctors already know it takes a long time for it to develop. So when they catch it in time, so you don't want to be one of the ones that go up there and whatever stage is that worst stage. Now, a lot of people probably having different signs and symptoms. And like I said, this is for educational purposes only. And I will tell you one sign that I definitely remember. Two signs I remember my doctor saying to me, and I don't know why it stuck with me. I never that had these signs, but just something about these two signs that she said to me. If you're ever experiencing bleeding after sexual intercourse, you're not supposed to bleed. You do not supposed to bleed. So don't think if you seeing blood or he blew your back out. No, no. You do not supposed to bleed after sexual intercourse. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. And if you are having a lot of pains, shooting from your buttocks all the way down to your legs, to both your legs. See, that's in the pelvic region. Okay. I don't know what it was about those two things that stuck in my head. No, as she was telling about, you have these kind of symptoms, but those two just stuck in my head for some reason. Yes, go get checked. Go get checked. You do not supposed to bleed after sexual intercourse. No. You're not supposed to do that. Don't ignore it. Okay. Now, ladies, let me say this. I'm getting ready to close it. Let me tell you this. If you got a daughter that's 21 years old, 22 years old, 23, 24, like that, it's time to have this conversation with them. It's time to sit your daughter down and have this conversation. They need to know about this. They need to know about having their self screened. And then who knows, y'all, if it's been a long time since you did it and your daughter gonna do it for the very first time, y'all do it together. Make an appointment together, at the same place. An hour or two apart from one another. Both y'all get it done together. Both y'all go get it done together. If your daughter is over 21 years old, she needs to know about this. Okay? Now I'm getting ready to go. I thank y'all for coming in here with me. And like I stated, that was a very transparent moment for me to share that with y'all. But I wanted to do that. And again, I get it. when it comes to that thing right there. Y'all see the picture? I understand. We just don't want to do it. Let me look at my comments. I get that. Excuse me. I get that. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Okay. So I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all get ready for my episode Sunday, next Sunday. We're gonna be talking about me and my two guests, Barsha McCullough and Coach Tanya Austin is going to be on my platform. They're going to be co-hosting with me, special guest co-hosting, and Miss Austin. We all going to have a conversation about co-parenting with a narcissist. Or we're going to talk, or we're going to dive all into that, y'all. Co-parenting with a toxic parent, and just co-parenting, period. We're gonna have a conversation. And it always did the same thing. If anybody be watching and want to come up and share their story, with us, no problem. I'll send you the link and you come on up and we just have a jaw japping time, okay? But it's next Sunday at 5 o'clock, all right, on my platform. All right. All right. Y'all know I love y'all. Thank you. I told y'all I'm gonna try not to hold y'all long. I really appreciate y'all being here. I hope this information, excuse me, I hope this information helps somebody. Because that's the purpose. That's the purpose. To shed some light on the importance of getting your pap smears done and having them done and all of that. Okay. Don't be like me. Don't be all these years and now you're on pins and needles. But again, I get it. Been there, done that. All right. Look, y'all have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your evening with your family. All right. Bye bye.